Hey guys, this is Spartacus here and welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm going to be showing you the easiest way to beat Dead Ops Arcade 3 when playing solo. Now for clarification at the very start of this video, just because all the tips and tricks I'll be giving throughout the rest of this video, even though it might make the experience a lot easier for you to get through those rounds and of course get to the very end and kill the mamaback, does not mean that it's going to be easy. This is a very challenging experience, especially when playing solo, and even trying to beat it solo is extremely challenging. So there's a lot of patience involved because it took me around 4 hours just to actually beat Dead Ops Arcade 3, and that was a long time for me, and just to do it in one sitting. So this requires a lot of patience, and there's a lot of concentration involved as well, so that way when you get to the very end you can beat it and finally have that relief that you have this challenge done from the main menu, because there is a zombies challenge that requires you to actually beat this, in case you guys are wondering, so you can get the 100% completion for zombies in Black Ops Cold War. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into the tips and tricks. One thing that you probably notice right off the bat is that I am playing in first person mode. This of course was a feature they added on later in Black Ops Cold War's life cycle, and the great thing about playing first person mode is that challenges can actually be completed when playing this. Before they added first person, they added like the advanced mode for Dead Ops Arcade, which essentially allowed you to resume in the last place that you died in like a previous normal Dead Ops Arcade run or something like that. And unfortunately in the advanced mode it doesn't allow you to complete challenges, which is a little unfortunate, especially if you don't want to go through all those levels again just to get to the very end of to kill the mamaback. So I totally recommend staying away from the advanced mode when it comes to Dead Ops Arcade, just because you can't complete challenges, and I'm sure when you want to kill that mamaback that you actually have that challenge actually completed in the main menu. So make sure you're playing first person mode, because I found first person mode to be so much more useful when it came to killing zombies. I felt like I was way more accurate when shooting at enemies and actually being able to run a train and actually maneuver around the zombies so they don't hit me, whereas the third person top down view, I felt like I was always running into zombies, and there was times where like the zombies kind of blend in with the map, so I didn't realize there was like a crawler next to me, and then I end up going down, and it can get really frustrating when that happens, and so you just kind of like waste a life at that point. But playing first person, I noticed I was way more accurate with whatever weapon I was holding, and so I felt like that it was a lot easier to actually kill zombies. And there's also definitely ways when there's like those different types of boss zombies that you fight, especially in the jungle, where you can cheese your way shooting at them and they won't actually attack you. So there's a lot of different ways you can cheese when it comes to killing zombies when playing first person that could actually go really a long way moving forward when you're trying to play this mode. The second thing that you got to utilize is using weapon drops that randomly appear on the ground, right? This of course can be like the grenade launcher, the death machine, the ray gun, whatever the case may be, right? Take advantage of those. Now in some situations they're not going to be very useful, like for example the grenade launcher is kind of considered one of the like the worst type of weapons that you can like pick up, that are the type of drops on the ground, but sometimes those can actually be really useful, because especially if there's like a whole horde of zombies coming after you, those grenade launchers can actually kill a lot of them like right away. So I always recommend trying to utilize those weapons, just non-stop shooting zombies with it. And of course, since you're playing in first person mode, you can't actually see if there's zombies behind you, so you're gonna have to use your headset if you're wearing one to actually recognize that how close they're coming towards you. So to make sure you're running a train like you do in normal zombies, and just kind of gather them all up and start spraying at them. Of course, keep shooting the zombies that are in front of you, because you don't want to die from those, and just kind of rally them up, just keep doing circles around the map, and just utilizing of course those drops. Now what about the type of drops where, not the drops, but with the type of equipment that you can use, the speed boost or the bomb that you can drop that can help you get out of certain situations when zombies are gathering up on you? Well, my recommendation when it comes to those is hold on to them until you absolutely have to use it. Now when you first get through the like first area of the Dead Ops Arcade like map, essentially that first area you're not going to need them. I mean, it's pretty easy to get by. They give you weapon drops, so like it's not hard to actually kill those zombies without having to use a nuke or a speed boost. There's sometimes where I play with people and they use them at the very beginning. It's like, what are you guys doing? Save them. You're going to need them for later. So make sure you hang on to those for as long as you can. Obviously use them when you absolutely have to and you don't want to go down. But other than that, really just hang on to them, but also utilize them, especially when you get into the lot higher rounds. You're eventually going to like have a lot of them stacked up. up if you use the method I just explained. If you try to conserve them at the very beginning and then try and use them up later on during the later rounds, make sure you utilize them, because sometimes it'll actually help you get through the rounds a lot faster. I mean, sure, yes, it can help you survive, obviously, but if you utilize them more and more throughout later rounds, it can help you get through the rounds faster and actually move on to the next area, which is something that I kind of discovered for myself, and it actually helped me a lot moving on to those higher rounds, especially that one area where there's a bunch of meatballs coming after you. God, that was like a freaking nightmare, let me tell you. Now, in Dead Ops Arcade 3, there is a place called the Jungle, which you first go to after you complete the first area when you're starting the match, and it's not really necessary to go through the jungle and get to the very end and get to the Room of Fate, and you know, it's really not worth it because it does take up a lot of your time. It's only worth it if you, based on luck and RNG for the most part, because you do have to collect enough keys to open up gates, and of course make it all the way up to the mountain and kill the werewolf, and then of course make your way to the Room of Fate. Obviously, if you get to the Room of Fate that early on, then it's going to benefit you for the rest of the match, obviously, but there's still other opportunities to get to the Room of Fate, even if you decide not to go through the entire jungle experience. Really, there's just other challenges you can complete when going through the jungle. It is fun to go through. I love going through it every single time, but it does take up more time trying to get to the very end, and so it's not really necessary. But if you really want to get to the Room of Fate at the very beginning, then yeah, by all means try and go for it, but just hopefully you get enough keys at the beginning to move on. And another thing, this is probably the most useful tip I can give you guys when playing this, especially in first person mode, is the different type of electric traps that you'll see on the map. So this is something that they'll frequently more appear later on when you keep playing the Dead Ops Arcade, but the thing is, when it comes to these electric traps, and in case you guys know what I'm talking about those like poles that are up on the map, and they will once in a while become electric, and of course you can get down from going in front of them once they become electric, but they have lights on top of them. Obviously, if it's green, you can walk through it and you'll be fine, but once it's like starts blinking red or whatever, it's going to start electrocuting, and it can actually kill you right away. However, the thing about these traps that you may not know, they can kill zombies. These type of electric traps will kill zombies, and so when you're trying to horde up zombies, trying to like round them all up so you can like spray them down with your gun or whatever, utilize those traps, make them follow through those traps, and then they'll just all die. Like, that is a huge tip that I can give you guys that I don't think a lot of people utilize in trying to actually play Dead Ops Arcade. Just try and round up all the zombies and make them walk through these electric traps so that way they die. That way you're not wasting any energy trying to kill them yourself. And so that is a huge tip that I don't see a lot of people recommend, and so I hope you guys actually take that into consideration, because that will get you a long way trying to get to the top and kill the mamaback, especially in the mamaback boss fight. You really got to utilize them and of course avoid them, because not only do you have the mamaback chasing after you, but you have all these other zombies chasing after you. So if you utilize the kind of all these methods that I've been saying here and utilize those electric traps, especially at the very end, it could really go a long way. Now, when it comes to the mama boss fight itself, there's going to be instances where she's going to be like throwing these gas grenades at you. You got to avoid this gas as much as possible, because it's going to slow you down quite frequently, like a lot. You will not move very fast at all when you go through this gas, and so you got to avoid it, because zombies are just going to come up to you and they're just going to just completely destroy you if you walk into that gas. And so yeah, utilize those traps, play first person mode, and of course be conservative at the very beginning when it comes to those power-ups such as the bomb and the power boost. Anyway, those are the tips I have for playing this. Like I said, it's not going to be easy, but all these tips I said here will make the experience easier for you, even though it's still going to be pretty difficult. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Call of Duty videos every single day, and I shall catch you guys later.